Hey guys, Kim Wolf here with affiliatemarketinginformant.com, and in this video we are going to talk about traffic hijacking and the truth about it and what you need to know about it before you actually go into this strategy. Now this video is going to be the fourth video in what I'm calling my Strategy Buster series, where I deep dive into strategies that are being taught to you and sold to you through specific software, especially in the make money online niche, promising you to be this be-all, end-all perfect strategy that's going to make you a lot of money. So today we're going to talk about the traffic hijacking strategy, which is also referred to as expired domains. And before we get into that, if this video helps you out, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you get notified of more videos like these. And if you are interested in learning how to succeed online, definitely check out the training link below in the description. It talks about why you are failing so that you can identify that and know how to overcome the failures so that you can actually find success online. Okay, so about traffic hijacking. So the typical strategy of this, specifically in the online marketing and make money online niches, is the practice of buying expired domain names that have existing traffic, and you basically redirect the domain name to a link of your choice. And what that does is it redirects the current traffic that's already coming to that domain to your particular pages, and they can be pages to products for sale that you have personally created, and or they can be affiliate offers. So let's talk about what an expired domain really is and why they expire in the first place. So obviously a domain name is what you use for websites. For instance, we have affiliatemarketinginformant.com. That is a domain name that is used to house the content that's on our website. So when we talk about our website, we're going to send you to affiliatemarketinginformant.com. That is a domain name, and that is a domain name specific to us and our brand. And no one else can have that domain name as long as we own it. These domain names are purchased in yearly increments. Now you can certainly buy the domain name for just 1 year or multiple years. And so everyone is kind of different on whether they do that or not. Some buy up the domain name for 5 to 10 years, however long you can buy that from the domain registrar. And some just only buy them for 1 year and renew them on a yearly basis. But what happens is when someone owns a domain name and does not renew it before the expiration date, it becomes an expired domain. So the expiration date happens, it's not renewed, and it becomes an expired domain, which means it's back on the market. It is available and free for anyone else to buy at that point. And if you need any background on the whole domain name buying process, I have created a handy dandy guide that really just takes you into the details of how to buy a domain name, how to actually prepare for buying a domain name, and really talking about the features that you need and don't need, because you're going to be presented with a lot of upsells. But that is just sort of a beginner one-on-one. If you need that, that is going to be linked in this handy dandy cheat sheet, which I am going to leave a link below also in the description. So if you like this guide, don't worry, you'll have access to it free of charge. So let me just show you what I mean about domain names, an example. So a very popular site to use to actually see these expired domains is expireddomains.net. This is free of charge. And as you want to drill in to see more information, it may ask you to sign in at certain points. But you can see some basic information about these domain names, about how much they're available for, and essentially to tell you that when they expired and how long they've been on the market. So there are many ways to find these expired domain names, in addition to products that you may see on sale on sites like Warrior Plus and JVZoo. This is a free option for you. Now, there could be many reasons these domain names expire. Some of the many reasons is the owner just forgot to renew it. The payment method did not go through. Maybe the business went out of business. Unfortunately, that may be a case right now with the whole pandemic situation. Or they never did anything with the domain, so they just decided they didn't need it anymore. And that happens a lot. Sometimes you buy a domain name, you have big plans for it, but you never get around for it. So essentially, you wasted that $10 to $15 you spent on buying that domain name for a year. So sometimes you just let it go if it's not worth hanging on to and potentially reselling at a later date. So this is how traffic hijacking works, which is essentially specifically talking about the method of buying up expired domains. So you use software to identify domains that have expired. Expiredomains.net is going to be one example of those softwares. Then you use a domain registrar to buy the domain name so that you own it. So this is an example of a domain registrar management of your domains that we personally use for Affiliate Marketing Informant. Then you basically take that new domain name that you bought, you purchased, and you redirect it to another link. And that link can be anything you create. It could be a landing page, it could be an email opt-in, it could be an existing web page of similar content. And this is just a screenshot showing you how you can take any domain and you can set it up to a redirect, which means when anyone actually clicks on a link for that particular domain name, they are redirected to another link. And that link can be anything that you designate it to be. So here's an example scenario of what this really looks like. The first step is a company or a person forgets to renew the domain, an example, yourlifehealth.com. So essentially you can pick it up and you can redirect the traffic to a supplement landing page that will add 10 years to people's lives. Every time someone types in the domain name or clicks the expired domain name link that lives anywhere on the web, whether it's indexed in Google, whether it's on YouTube in descriptions, whether it's on other websites, those people that click on that link, they will end up on your page. And if the person buys your product, you get the sale. So this is an example scenario of how traffic hijacking works and how it's spun that way, because essentially what they're saying is you're going to capitalize on other domains that already have existing traffic, and you're going to take that traffic and send it to wherever you want. So some key words to identify this type of strategy is ethically start hijacking free traffic from YouTube, Wiki, Quora, Reddit, and more by finding the best expired domain names. So these are going to be some of the sort of key terms that you need to look out for. And so when you hear these, you need to investigate more and say, okay, are they referring to expired domains? Sometimes the headlines are going to tell you, yes, you're going to legally hijack and this traffic with the best expired domains. Some of them don't mention this keyword, but typically a common phrase is the legally hijack millions of free visitors and sends them to any link within minutes. So that's the redirect link that you determine, right? Legally, ethically steal traffic from other YouTube videos. So that is using software to identify domain names that are expired inside of YouTube descriptions of videos and essentially buying those domains, because in some cases you may have control of those video descriptions and you may not. So if no one updates them, they're going to remain in those descriptions. If the video is getting a lot of views, people are bound to click on that link, and the idea is that you can actually capture that traffic. You pick up the domain name for $1 and redirect the traffic to any link of your choice. Now, domain name costs are going to be all over the place. A lot of times what you can get is $1 first time, first year fee. But typically, on average, they're going to be anywhere between $10 and $15. They're going to be lower and higher depending on the domain registrar. There's thousands of different places you can register these domains, so the price is going to be all over the place. But typically in USD, it's going to be around $10 to $15 per domain. Legally hijacking free traffic and authority from 4 of the biggest sites online. So once again, that's telling you it's using the common keywords like legally hijacking free traffic. Okay, so let's talk about the right way to use this functionality, and then we're going to talk about the wrong way. So this strategy can work. It is a strategy that some marketers use. However, there are some caveats that you need to understand about it. Sometimes with these expired domain names, the traffic can be very short-lived. So don't expect the traffic to live forever. Have the money to invest in buying domain names. The strategy is to buy these domain names, so not just one. And anywhere at $10 to $15 an average price, just be aware that 10 domain names can cost you $100 to $150 per year, right? And so if you buy more domain names, then you can double that, right? So if you bought 20 domain names, that would be $200 to $250 per year, and so on and so on. So there is a cost involved in maintaining those domain names. No, this is considered to be a black or gray hat SEO technique. So essentially, white hat means good practices, black hat means bad practices, and gray hat means somewhere in between the two and kind of sketchy. This strategy of traffic hijacking or buying expired domain is considered to be borderline, and it's also considered to be kind of an old strategy. Now, it's not to say that people still don't use it today. However, Google and other search engines and even YouTube, they're smarter these days, and they can pick up on these things today like they were not able to do 10 years ago. So the wrong way to use this functionality is to expect to buy just one domain name and make millions. It's not going to happen. Also, you do not want to buy trademark names because this can get you in potential lawsuits. So just because a brand name that you see is actually available as an expired domain name, you do not want to own that. Essentially, if you are the domain owner and that particular brand decides to basically sue because they have protected copyrights and trademarks on the brand name and the logo and all that stuff, you could essentially get in trouble just for owning the domain name. So that's not something you want to get involved in. You want to stay away from any sort of trademarked brand names that you can see. Don't buy those. So let's now talk about some softwares that exist today that promise you this strategy. So one of the softwares is going to be called Profits Buddy. And you're going to see the headline is going to look very familiar. So the 3-click app lets you legally hijack millions of free visitors and sends them to any link within minutes. So that was actually on the sheet because this is a software that is essentially promising the strategy of domain hijacking. So honestly and personally, I would never really do this strategy. It's just one of those strategies you need to invest time in, and you need to continuously invest money in buying these domain names. There are 101 strategies that you can use. So if you're interested in learning sort of the right strategies that work today and will work tomorrow and will work for years to come, then definitely don't forget to check out the training link below. It's going to talk about what you need to know about how to actually succeed for real online today in 2021 at the time of making this video. So another software is going to be called Clyde. So we also reviewed this back in the day, and it's going to tell you, lets you ethically start hijacking free traffic from all these free sources. So it's essentially software that goes and fetches and finds these expired domain names and pulls them back for you, and then inside the software it will allow you to actually buy the domain name within the software. And so that software and the people who made that software are making money on you every time you buy those domains from their software and from their platform. The third one, this is a very common one, a very, very popular one, is called My Traffic Jacker. And that's this here, where it's going to tell you that you can basically turn a profit in under 24 hours by legally hijacking free traffic and authority from 4 of the big sites online. And it's going to tell you that no skills or experience are required. You can literally complete this as a newbie and get results. And it's true, this strategy certainly can work, but it's not something you're going to hit a home run with immediately. And it's something that you need to study, learn, and perfect like any other strategy online today. So my personal opinion, this is not a beginner-friendly strategy. This is very, very complex because it's always going to be changing, and you really need to learn which domain names to buy and which ones not to buy. Because there can be some really problems with this domain name. So if a domain has bad history before and you buy it, you essentially inherit that history, and which can be red flags, like the domain name, basically the website and the domain name got banned by search engines, or they received penalties for doing wrong things. Essentially, you can get penalized for doing black hat or gray hat SEO. Perhaps they've had low quality content in the past and they never did rank and they never really had quality traffic, and potentially they even had bad backlinks. So if you buy the domain name, you inherit those red flags, and those red flags and those issues then become yours. So the strategy is sold in the make money online niche to be some miracle money making strategy, but truth behold, their hype is total BS. And along with every other strategy, they try to sell you for $17. But just remember, they're selling you software over and over about every 2 weeks. So I hope this Strategy Buster video has helped you out. If you found value from this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Comment below if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And definitely remember to check out the training link below. It's hands down going to be helpful training that will actually get you where you want to go if you're willing to put the work in. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.